to Desert Financial Credit Union for sponsoring the KRIM Community Spotlight Program. Good morning, everyone. Chris Higgins in the studio. Hope you're having a great Friday morning. That's right, it is Friday. Yay! And a lot going on this weekend. And if you're here in Payson, especially new to the area, so one thing you will learn is Payson, we always have a lot of activities going on in the summertime. And today we're going to be talking about one of those activities that is happening tomorrow at the Rim Country Museum and Zane Grey Cabin, and that is the National Day of the Cowboy Celebration. And again, that starts at 10 a.m. and goes until 4 p.m. And we have some characters in the studio today. And, if you have a chance to watch our KRIM live on our KRIM FM Facebook page, I'd highly encourage you to do so, because in the studio this morning we have Kid Yuma, Arizona Charlie, and of course Frank Tresnick, who both Frank and I, not so much in the period attire, more so the Friday attire, casual day. But Frank is the Northern Gila County Historical Society board member that's going to tell us a little bit about the festivities that are happening tomorrow at the Rim Country Museum and Zane Grey Cabin.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you so much for coming on, guys.
We have such a rich heritage that comes from the men and women that helped settle this area.
Mm-hmm.
And we call them cowboys to cover in general, but they really had a kind of a self-sufficient life they had to lead. And they've given us this beautiful place to live based on a lot of the things they did to help develop the area.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted to pay homage to them and also help people understand a little bit more about the history of this area and how it got this way. So have some fun and also maybe learn something.
Yeah, and this is sponsored by the Northern Gila County Historical Society.
Yes.
And can you tell us a little bit about that group, that organization?
The society is a 501c3 nonprofit.
Mm-hmm.
We actually own the land and operate the Rim Country Museum and the Zane Grey Cabin in Green Valley Park. It was actually the site of the original Forest Ranger station,
Mm-hmm.
which is still on the property, and our gift shop is actually the Chief Ranger's house, which now is used for our marketing, etc. And then there's a 2-story museum that exists just outside that is modeled on the Heron Hotel that used to be here in town. So it's a look-alike, if you will. We have over 22 exhibits that go from the ancient peoples and pay homage to the rodeos, to mining, to the sawmill and lumber industry. Also, Arizona Charlie, one of our visitors here, is featured. We have a thing about Zane Grey. A lot of people don't know that Zane Grey not only was a famous author, but he holds records for fishing all over the world, because that was his other passion in life. And then we have Anime's Kitchen. We have a whole blacksmithing exhibit, a little bit about Payson Moonshine, or what was called Payson Dew. And then if you haven't been to the museum for a couple of years while we were closed for the pandemic, we added some exhibits, including Miss Julia's classroom. So, and so we have her actual desk and piano on site there.
Wow.
And so, and we're going to be using that for our storytelling on Saturday. So,
wow,
just a little run through.
Oh yes, and I have to say hello to Clifford Lane watching in Southern Illinois, one of our KRIM faithfuls, and he said, "Howdy, fellers." From Southern Illinois. Whoa! Yeah.
Howdy.
Howdy, Clifford. And Clifford, he works for the sheriff there. So he's law enforcement. So you better be on your best behavior there, Kid Yuma.
Okay. All right.
So can you tell us, Frank, a little bit about the activities that will be taking place this Saturday, again starting at 10 a.m.
Sure. We actually received a proclamation from the town. The mayor's going to come and read it at 10 o'clock to open the festivities up. We have a skit early on that our reenactors from Rim Country Reenactors, and you may have known them as the Oxbow Outfit or Payson Petticoats, so the same folks. They are going to do a presentation on Arizona Charlie, which I know we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
We're going to have music live from Cinnamon Twist, and it's going to be old-time cowboy songs. At the same time, the Rim Country Museum and the Zane Grey Cabin are open for self-tours, and there is no cost for admission. There's no cost for admission to any of the activities.
Wow.
there.
Yeah.
And then as we continue on during the day, we'll have storytelling up in Miss Julia's classroom, and another skit on Payson Moonshine, and then Cinnamon Twist is going to do another set, and then we'll be moving on to another storytelling session, and in the middle of that, Kid Yuma and Bonnie are going to do a presentation on why a cowboy wears what pieces of attire and what their function is, which is fascinating.
Yes.
And outside as well, we're going to have an 1880s vintage chuck wagon that will be on site, and there'll be a place for the kids to try their hand at roping a steer. And before parents are concerned, it is a sawhorse-based steer, so
come on.
not the life. Yeah. Well, the original idea was, how many horses can we get? And I go, ooh, I don't think they like that. But there are a lot of activities that are oriented towards the kids and as well as the families.
No, that's great. So Kid Yuma, you're going to be doing with Bonnie, who is here in the studio as well.
Yes.
She is handling you guys, making sure you don't get in any trouble.
Right. That's right.
Just maybe give the listeners and viewers an example. I know I heard you earlier talking about the neckerchief or the scarf.
Sure.
And the role that played.
Yes, the scarf has many usages back in the days. It can be used as a sling, bandage, cool you down, put it in the water, dab it. You can wrap it around your head, damp even. It just keeps you comfortably cool if it need to be. Out in the hot deserts, on the hot trails of Arizona territory.
No, yeah, and it does get a little hot out here.
Yeah, it just
does.
Just a little.
Just a little
Just
bit.
a little.
And so if you're watching today, you'll see Arizona Charlie dressed in the buckskin. Now, you mentioned tomorrow.
I will not be wearing this tomorrow out in the heat. No.
Out in the heat, yeah. When it's in the high 90s, mid-high 90s, that's not good.
No, it's bad enough I got that hair in the heat too.
I know. It grew so fast.
Did it?
Amazing. Yeah, your hair looks good.
Last time I was here with you, I was a cavalry soldier with short hair.
Yeah, sure. Now I know. It's just amazing how fast it grows. So, the skit. Can you tell us a little bit about the skit you'll be doing?
Sure. The Rim Country Reenactors were the oldest reenacting group in Payson. We started as the Oxbow Outfit, Payson Petticoats. We're going to be there all day tomorrow. I'll be depicting Arizona Charlie and letting the public know just who he was. I think a lot of people don't realize what a famous man he was. He's Payson's biggest celebrity ever.
Oh, yeah.
And he was a showman. He performed with Buffalo Bill's Wild West show. He actually helped start the Payson Rodeo in 1884 and was an award-winning roper. He won all the roping events for the first few years of the Payson Rodeo. Interesting side note, one of the cowboys he competed against in roping was Tom Horn, who was also a very accomplished roper. But Arizona Charlie beat him.
Yeah. Wow.
But just a real fascinating history with him.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned this, Frank. This event, again, National Day of the Cowboy Celebration, is an amazing event for young people, really people of all ages. But if you have children and you just want them to be in awe or come out and just, wow, look at this, and just have a great time, you really need to be out at tomorrow's celebration with them.
Absolutely, and rodeo's been such a key point of our history and our heritage museum in the rodeo exhibit area
Mm-hmm.
to be able to talk to people, and kids can actually come up and ask him questions and see, and
Mhm.
he's got photos that he can sign.
Wow.
I mean, there's one photo of him arriving at a rodeo by parachute, parachute from a helicopter or something
Yeah.
coming in. So, but here's a guy who lived that life.
Yes.
And someone asked me the other day, how does he feel at his age now? And I said, I know, you can come and ask him.
Yeah, a little sore. Yeah.
Yeah, riding a bull is probably not something I would be very good at.
Oh, yeah, that takes a special type of person, I think, to do that. Wow, so again, the celebration starts at 10 a.m., goes until 4 p.m., and wow, the list of activities, it is just jam-packed. There's going to be a lot going on.
We have it, so if you want to spend all day there, that's great. If you
Mhm.
want to spend a few hours there, you will have activities going on, and some of them will be similar or repeat in the afternoon, because we realize that people won't necessarily be there for the entire day. So
Mhm.
it's open, 10 to 4, and
Mhm.
all you got to do is come on out. And the other thing I don't want to shortchange, Chris, is we think as board members and the people who are in the museum and the Zangri cabin that we have a real unique, fascinating item that people from outside the area come and say, oh, wow.
Mhm.
And so come and see the museum, especially if you haven't been here for a
Mhm.
couple years. Come and see the legacy of what Zangri built, up near Coles Ranch
Mhm.
and used as a hunting cabin, because there's a lot of stories about our history
Mhm.
that all relate to that.
Mm. And Carla Williams is watching, and she said, "Great going, guys."
Well, thank you.
Hey, Carla.
And you've mentioned that before when you were in, Frank, that the Rim Country Museum, Zangri Cabin, it's a wonderful place to take visitors. So we have so many people that they have family, friends that are visiting them, coming to Payson. Hey, what can we do? Where are you going to take us? Well, right here, almost, I don't want to say in the middle of town, but right there by Green
Sure.
Valley
Yeah.
Park. You can easily, have a wonderful day out there, walking around the lakes, do a little fishing, go into the museum, tour the Zangri cabin. It's very impressive. Very impressive. And-
Great place to hang out.
yeah.
I think we're lucky to have it.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. It really is a great asset to the community, and it does a great job at honoring and informing people about the history of the area, because like you said, it was those early settlers that came up here. And I know earlier before the program we were talking about, and you mentioned how pretty and oh my gosh, the views and everything else.
Mhm.
But talk about also the struggles and how being so isolated up here. There's really nothing near them at all. So I'm sure a lot of challenges that they overcame to settle this area
Sure.
that you'd learn about in the museum.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Payson was so isolated that at the time when Zangri came the first time, it took a 5-day ride on horseback from the train up in Flagstaff, because there were no roads or stagecoaches or trains or any way to get here.
Wow. Wow. Well, again, if you're just tuning in or you're just getting on our Facebook Live, talking with Frank Tresnick, Northern Gila County Historical Society board member, Arizona Charlie, and Kid Yuma, which all three of you will be out at the event tomorrow, but Arizona Charlie and Kid Yuma going to be in a skit or two. I think the Payson Do. Is that
One skit.
another?
Yeah, one of our skits, well, that's actually the only skit.
The only skit, yeah.
The Payson Do skit.
Yeah.
Payson was just famous all around the country for its moonshine. It was considered the best, and the secret was the water from Horton Creek. It's
Mm.
almost perfect water.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, people came from all over just to buy moonshine here in
Wow.
Payson.
Look at that. Arrowhead Lake doesn't have anything.
Nothing on
nothing on Horton Creek. That
No.
water.
So we'll be showing a little how that went in those days. Yeah.
No, I know. And then with Bootleg Alley and
Mhm.
Bootleg Alley.
That's what it's
right
all
here.
about, yeah.
And then talking before the program in Chaparral Pines.
Chaparral Pines.
Still there's some stuff there on the 17th hole. So yeah, just a lot of history, and this is a great opportunity for members of the community, residents to come out. Also, if you're listening or watching and you're thinking about coming up to Payson this weekend, or you are coming up to Payson, again, just something great for the entire family.
Sure.
You can come out and just enjoy the celebration, have a great time. So, yeah, some stories. Arizona Charlie, like you guys said, such a character.
Definitely. Well, for one thing, just his presence, he was 6'6", which is tall today, but
That's right tall.
yeah, that's right tall. That's still tall today.
I know.
But in the 1800s, that was a giant.
Yeah.
And so, boy, did he stand out like a sore thumb back then.
Yeah.
And he had the long hair. Long hair was not really a thing in the 1800s. Most men didn't have it.
Yes.
It was the flamboyant men like Arizona Charlie, Buffalo Bill, Wild Bill Hickok was very flamboyant. And then, of course, General Custer, who probably had the biggest ego of any man who'd ever lived.
Yeah.
And those were the kind of men who had long hair.
Yes.
So they were showmen, and that's what Arizona Charlie was.
And now he a story that I thought very interesting, where he lived and when he died.
Yeah, he was born in California. They moved here in 1877, and they started a ranch where Whispering Pines is now. And so you can imagine how beautiful that ranch was with the creek running through it. And today, when you're driving through Whispering Pines, if you pay attention, on the right side of the road is a plaque that shows where Arizona Charlie's house was. There's a new house that sits where it was, but it shows that. Yeah, beautiful area. So that was his home.
And then, so when did he leave Whispering Pines and head south?
Well, let's see. In 1892, he joined Buffalo Bill's Wild West show.
Okay.
And he traveled all over the world with Buffalo Bill.
And that's crazy. I mean, going, all outside, I mean, at that time, going to other countries and performing. That, and nothing like today. I mean, I think it's very hard to imagine. Today traveling. It's funny, we look at TSA as an inconvenience. Are you kidding? Or
traveling the world in those days, I can't imagine the hardships. Sailing by, tall ships across the ocean. Yeah, it's amazing.
And I would imagine, I mean, with their horses or taking. Everything that they had with them. Talk about an adventure.
Yeah.
Well, and Arizona Charlie, not only being a consummate rodeo cowboy and cowboy in general, he was one heck of a shot. He pulled some tricks off that people still cannot believe.
Wow. Wow, and you think of the guns back then.
Yeah.
And I mean, nothing like today where you see marksmen and the weapons they have, the guns, the pistols, the rifles. I mean, how calibrated they are, and
they were black powder in those days.
Well, back then,
Definitely weren't perfect
No.
by any means.
No, so to be able to do trick shots or to do those things, wow. That's something. So he traveled around with Buffalo Bill, and then how did he? I guess what made him go to Yuma? How did he end up in Yuma?
Well, before Yuma, he went up to the Klondike to mine gold in 1898, and he lost his gold mine in a poker game. So he opened a theater in Dawson. And that theater is still in operation to this day.
Oh, wow. Wow. That is something, but lost his gold mine. Poker game.
Of all things.
So he finally retired in Yuma, and Well, Frank, why don't you tell the story you told us about the snow?
Yeah.
Interesting enough, he lived quite a long life. He died on December 9th, 1932. And previously, he had talked to people as he was getting older, and they said, "How long you gonna hang around, whatever?" And he says, "I'm gonna be here till it snows in Yuma." And he died December 9th, 1932, and that day downtown Yuma had 1.5 inches of snow. Which, if you've been around Arizona, Yuma
Yeah.
never gets snow.
Never.
Yeah.
That's an amazing
It
story.
is just-
Yeah.
That is. So, again, the National Day of the Cowboys celebration happening tomorrow at the Rim Country Museum and Zane Grey Cabin, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And is it Rim Country Reenactment or?
Rim Country Reenactors, that's our new
Reenactors.
name. Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
and going to be performing the Pace and Do skit. And how long, Kid Yuma, how long have you been part of the reenactment group? It's been a while, hasn't
Well,
it?
David Grussi, the assistant librarian, and I
Yeah.
got talking one day.
Uh-huh.
We both did reenacting.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked me one day if there's ever been a reenacting group up here. And I said, well, I've been here 3 years at that point,
Yes.
5 years ago. And he said, no, there's not one.
Uh-huh.
We need to talk.
Yeah.
So we talked, and we went down to Oxbow as an Arizona historian to preserve Oxbow
Mhm.
Saloon.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect place for us kids to play.
Yes.
Kid cowboys, you know.
Yeah.
And that, we got formed.
Wow.
And it'll be, I believe, 6 years this January when it started.
That's correct, yeah,
Yeah,
6 years. And
that's-
so he's been with them since day one.
Yeah, since the beginning.
Yeah, I joined a few months after that.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
And approximately how many members, how many people are part of the reenactment group? I know it's
Well,
probably a
I-
loose number.
I created the phone list for our group,
Yeah.
and I believe we're up to, I think it's 23. Some people
Wow.
have come and gone, they
Yeah.
moved or they had to drop for various reasons, but I'd
Uh-huh.
say we're between 23, 25 people.
Oh, and it's great that you can perform at events, like this, other events, and carry on the history, the history of Payson.
It's fun being a history buff. We have such rich history right here in
Mhm.
Rim Country that I love doing this and depicting our history. Just last week, our group went down to Young, Arizona
Mm.
for Pleasant Valley Days
Mm.
and did a skit about the Pleasant Valley War. I
Mhm.
think this is our 4th or 5th year in a row that we've done that.
Wow.
So,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You look at the history. I mean, in Rim Country,
Mhm.
in Rim Country, not just Payson, and that's where it's great to have that Rim Country Museum.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all of the history. In
And
this
then movie
area.
producer Travis Mills actually got the idea from our group to make a movie about the Pleasant Valley War.
Mhm.
And he used a lot of our script
Yeah.
into writing his script.
So basically, took the skit
Yes.
what you had put together
Mhm.
and just blew it up.
Yeah.
Your skit on steroids.
And that movie was a huge hit here in Payson. We showed it at the Sawmill Theater for a week, 2 times a day, and almost every showing was a sellout.
Wow. No,
Good
it's
movie.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's our
No.
local history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To
Mhm.
Payson, because Commodore Perry Owens was told to come out here to Payson to get a law dog to go out there to basically try to end the war.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, again, brings history to Payson.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, that is great. And again, if you want to, learn about this history, watch. And it's great, the reenactment. It's living history, which is a lot of fun.
It is.
So, yeah, rather than just reading. Rather, reading about it is interesting as it is.
Right.
But when you can watch it and then
Sure.
read about it, see pictures, actual photos in the museum from those times, that definitely just really brings it to life even more.
I'm thinking I should give the wig to Frank since he's actually 6'4",
Yeah.
like Arizona
Yeah.
Charlie
I'll
was.
be doing well with just a cowboy hat tomorrow.
I don't know.
So, Chris, I have to warn people,
Yes.
the deputies will be on patrol
Mhm.
during the event, and the jail will be operating.
Oh,
And I
Mhm.
believe Miss Bonnie is the judge.
oh boy, Judge Bonnie.
So in
Uh-oh.
case you're doing something like they told me, I'm wearing shorts today and I might have got arrested for wearing short pants. So I'm gonna have jeans on tomorrow.
There
You know,
you
I
go.
don't wanna get
You
arrested.
better.
Good idea,
I
yeah.
have short pants on as well. No, don't want to be arrested, or even worse, I think, don't want Miss Bonnie coming after you with her wooden spoon.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
Mark,
I've been on the receiving end of that spoon,
Well,
yeah.
of course you have, with that hair like that. You know you're going to get in trouble.
Ma knows how to eat. Ma knows how to use that too.
Yeah, very, very skilled. With you guys, a lot of practice. So, yeah, no, well, great talking with all of you. Also, Mark Henning watching. Want to say hi to Mark.
Hey,
And,
Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Watching. And yeah, is he part of the reenactment?
Yes, and he'll be there
Yeah.
tomorrow.
He'll be there
In fact,
tomorrow.
he's the sheriff.
He's the sheriff.
Oh, I
boy.
better get out of town while I can.
We all sat up a little straighter. When you said that. Oh boy. Hey, well, again, a great time out at the Rim Country Museum, Zane Grey Cabin tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The National Day of the Cowboys celebration. Just a ton of activities going on. And hey, you get to meet Arizona Charlie, Kid Yuma, and others, you know, from that period. So yeah, it should be a great success, and look forward to more celebration in years to come.
Excellent. Thank
I'd
you,
like to see
Chris.
it.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, well thank you guys. Thank you everyone for listening and watching this morning. Hope you guys, and one more person, Patty McClanahan Carr.
That's my wife.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
Did you recognize this long-haired guy here? Looking good, Charlie.
Hi, Henny.
It is here.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you again, guys, and thank you again, everyone, for listening. Hope you have a wonderful Friday, and hope you get a chance to get out to the event again tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Rim Country Museum. And
10 to 4.
10 to 4. Sorry, I was
Sorry.
saying 9 to 4. Oh my gosh, 10.
Uh-oh.
Hey, we get out there a little
We'll be
early.
helping set up.
It's yeah, you can help set up.
Yeah.
We can use it.
Put you to work. All right, well, time to get back to music with how appropriate, some Steve Earle, some Copperhead Road, since we're
All
talking
right.
about Pace and Do, and a little John Cougar, Collective Soul, and more. So again, thank you everyone for listening, and have a wonderful weekend.
Well, thank you.
Right.
All right, there we
Well,
go.
guys.
Thanks,
Nice.
Chris. Yeah.
Hey, thank you.